Okie dokie. So let me see if I can, okay, move that on my way. And this one too. I just finished a recovery or rehabilitation build on almost 200 million parameter model, which it's not too bad. See how it works. So anyway, my name's John Reagan, and I'm with Board Brains Consortium and Ulshe.ai. That's ULSHE.ai. And today what I'm bringing you is a quick little demo, hopefully quick. Tend to tangent. I apologize for that. Well, I enjoy the tangents. Sometimes they're creative, like right now. But I'm bringing you the Easy Bake AI tool set that I made. This is actually the first set of tools that I used to make my first AI model. This uses a knowledge graph. So what happens in this model is we take the data, we turn it into nodes based off of a certain formatting, the MIC formatting. And that format seems to allow the AI to ingest and understand it a little better. Additionally, reduce down vocabulary to primitives. So that gives you a nice small surface to start with for training. It does seem to work rather well. I'm actually building tons and tons of different models on it right now. Not just this, but I have 4 different versions of the transformer, the standard transformer model. And actually the Pascal is number 4. This one was kind of an interesting twist I had actually considered until I did it. And then the Chimera models, which I have 9 of those now, I think it is. Those ones are pretty wild. Those are post-transformer, and the most recent one is just so crazy. I don't even want to get into it right now. There's so many layers can be made. It's wild. So anyway, the Easy Bake AI, this tool allows you at home, at work, on your own computer, whatever, to build your own AI. So you don't actually need a data center. You don't actually need a big GPU, though they do help. I've actually used this exact tool set to build AI directly on tablets and cell phones. And my tablets are downstairs, but here's one of my cell phones. I have 3, I think, right now I'm working with, and I've used them all to build AI models on the cell phone itself. Okay, I even have a APK that I made based off of this same tool set that is our Ulshe Easy Bake AI. Don't need to be looking at all my apps. But you can see it pops up there, and you can go ahead and go into the advanced settings. Oh, you don't need to be looking at my LinkedIn. No one cares about that anyway. So you can go into the advanced settings, and you can set different components, parameters, hyperparameters as they're called, of the AI if you want. This is not readily available right now because there's a couple things I'm still working out on it. Mostly the save file. Android is just so touchy about that. Anyway, you can download this and run it directly on your Windows, Mac, or Linux PC. It's all right here. All you have to do is go to github/joereg/easy_bake_AI and click the code button and download the zip. I'm going to download it right now because it's so small. It's that quick. It's already done. It's only 6.8 megs. There really has no weight to it, really. And yeah, that's all the tools you need. So we'll just go ahead. Oh, it already extracted it. So we'll go ahead and just jump in here. Oh, that's going to make things such a pain. Let me go ahead. Auto extract sometimes. Just move this up one. Alright. I just control V. Anyhow. So there that is. So now we know it's there. I'm going to go over here to the terminal window. Whichever one it is. Oh, whoops. I'm still running one. My bad. So I'm in the let me make sure I'm actually still in that file. Okay, we're still in that folder. So in here you can see I already have the VNV set up, but that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and run the shell script. It might hang because I have a lot of different stuff going on the machine. It did not. Externally managed environment. Oh, that's right. So I already have some of these things. So I already have, oh, no, I know I did. Hold on. Let me back out. And then go back into my Easy Bake AI main. So just so you know, this is all live right now. So it's not like I am not faking any of this, as you can probably tell. And I probably won't edit it either. So I really don't have that time. So we'll go ahead and rerun that. So we'll see when it goes to check dependencies. I'm getting some hangs here. So usually I just Control C, and surprisingly that kicks it back in. So it's a system hang thing. Other people haven't had any issues with it on Windows or Mac. I've had a few people installed on Linux and it seemed to work fine. If for you, for some reason, it does hang, just use the Control C, and as you can see here, it'll go ahead and begin installing all your dependencies and getting that all set up for you. Yeah, I say a lot of mine is already on here, so don't be surprised. Give it a minute. Hugging Face, tokenizers, last socket. Oh my. So here we go. It kicked on, and we're just gonna go ahead and grab the IP address. I'll just open the link. Boom. So now you're looking at your HCTS Easy Bake AI V1 Forge, right? So this is really easy. I actually, let me turn this fan off real quick. Didn't need that anymore. I'm already done building that model. And this stuff isn't very intensive for the card that I only have a RTX 3090. I have duals, but I only need one. But that model that I was running before did take 19 gigs. So to run this, it just CUDA doesn't, the card doesn't like it, runs out of RAM. So here you can see you have your model architectures you can select. This is the standard one that I would recommend most people start with. And the Pascal guided Model Z is experimental. It's very experimental. There's some things I'm actually figuring out on this one right now that I'm applying in the Chimera V9 that I'll probably bring back to this. So here you can choose your curriculum path. It's generally in the folder, curriculum in the main folder, the Easy Bake AI main. This is where it spits out your the build. So you can name this whatever you want. You can call it My First Forge, or you can call it, you know, Joe's AI or whatever. Number of epochs, that's how many training rounds it's going to go through on the material. All right. Down here in advanced settings, if you understand how AI models work, you can definitely come down here. If you're having issues or if you have a limited amount of RAM, I'd recommend reducing the batch size. So the batch is how much of that data it's doing all at once, kind of a thing. So the learning rate, you don't really need to mess with that. Sequence length, all these things, I mean, you can pretty much leave the way they are, especially if this is your first time ever making an AI model on your machine. And then from there, you just click this little forge button, and we'll see it goes through all its steps. And it's now making an AI. It is that simple, and you will see the loss go down, and you can use our other tools that we have available, which I will bring up now. Over here in the README, you'll see that once you've built it, we have our advanced toolbox. Now these are CLI, command line interface only. So you have your standard chat interface where you can kick this on. Where you can kick this on and have your Python toolbox chat CLI, so you can chat with it. They're not going to be perfect when you do the first training round. It's just, think of it like training a child, like educating a child, right? So you're giving them initial information, you're setting up these data structures in their mind, and then from there you're creating an interface, a interaction. So one of the biggest differences of the Alshay model is that we do not freeze layers for use. Okay, we do it in training for various models, but for interaction, we actually embrace what a lot of the industry sees as overwriting, which I actually see as neuroplasticity. Just like a person, though, we find that primitive or prime core education is still required. This is why if people don't read or if they don't write, they start losing that skill. It's the same thing with the AI. So as you're training it with more things, right, the AI can't get any bigger, so it's got to put it somewhere. So then it just tries to overwrite things. So there's a method where you take your core curriculum basically and you run it through in different stages along with the new stuff you're training so that it maintains those connections. So very similar to remedial or refresher courses, starting of a class in school you might have. So getting back to these things, we have our standard chat interface. We have the brain scanner, which is our latent space mapper, and that essentially shows you the weights and relations between the things within the database, because that's really what an AI is. It's a freaking crazy souped up database system. Keep that in mind. Most things are just a database. AI is a database system. So you're really putting your information in there, you're enacting things on it. We're printing up some stuff over here. So you gotta love it. So we also have the the data reformatter. So if you want to clean up any of your files, or if you have stuff you want to convert to JSON to basically train your AI on, that's what you would use that for. And we also have our dojo, and this is an active reinforcement. So again, the neuroplasticity allows us to go in and train on a specific item. Okay. And so we take advantage of this by essentially training them via a flashcard method. So if they get it wrong, we explain what we want, we train it, and then we go and lock those concepts in essentially. So the really neat one though that I was really wanting to get in here was the interactive dojo, because I think there is something that comes, there's one thing when like, okay, I ask it questions, I got it wrong, I set up training and I trained it, but there's a whole other interactive element when you are directly training the model. So we included this interactive dojo to where you can essentially type teach your response, hit enter, and it'll run a little mini training session on that piece of information, that fact. So you may have to do this a few times over and over again, right? Say anywhere from 5 to 10 times potentially in order for it to stick. But from what I've seen, it does tend to stick pretty well when doing it. It's actually a little fun. So that's essentially the EasyBake AI toolset. It is available under Apache 2.0 license. Feel free to download it. If you have any issues with it, let me know. Open an issue here on GitHub and I will get to it, get it fixed. I really want things to work. That's my whole drive in this. It's not making millions of dollars or anything. I mean, that'd be nice, but it's more so I found something, and in order to prove that it works or it doesn't work, I had to do things to show that, and that's what all these things are. So that's the EasyBake AI, Forge, whatever you want to call it. You can make a AI on a tablet now. You can make an AI on a cell phone now. You can make AI on old computers running Linux now. I've actually used this and made models. I don't have it up here. I made models on my Dell ES 440, no graphics card, all CPU, and yeah, they work about 20 days depending on what you're doing. But yeah, that's the Easy Bake AI by Ulshe.ai. That's ULSHE.ai, and I'll go ahead and put the link down in the description. So times change, people. Now you can make your own.